Hi, I'm Ankush Chopra. Did you know that sometimes individuals and organizations learn to become helpless? They stop trying to change their life conditions and give in. Why does that happen? Let's find out. Scientists undertook this experiment many decades back to understand behavior in the face of adversity. They created a special dog cage with two independent metal bottoms. Each bottom was separately wired to provide a small electric shock to the dog in the cage. That shock was somewhat painful so that the dog could not ignore it. The wiring was done in such a way that the researcher could turn on or off one or both the chambers at the same time. Scientists turned on the shock mechanism in the bottom where the dog was sitting. As you would imagine, the dog was startled and it ran away from that place until it found a place where there was no shock. Then the scientists turned off that chamber and turned on the other chamber. As expected, the dog again ran away from that bottom to find a place where it no longer felt the shock. Each time the scientist repeated this, the dog behaved in a predictable manner. It moved away to a place where there was no shock. Then the researcher turned on both the chambers. At this point, the dog started running all over the place but couldn't find a safe place to sit. After it continued to run for some time, it did something surprising. It sat down in spite of the electric shock being live. The poor creature just gave up and kept sitting there. Then the scientist turned off the electric current in both the chambers. When he turned on the electric current in the chamber where the dog was sitting, the dog did something even more surprising. It no longer ran away. Although the other chamber had no shock, the dog did not even attempt to find it. It had learned to become helpless. This mechanism of learned helplessness is associated with depression in individuals. But you can also see this to be the case in organizations. Many organizations learn this behavior after failing to achieve their goals repeatedly. I discussed the case of New York Police Department in my book, The Dark Side of Innovation, to show such a situation. You can find a similar situation in many organizations on a day-to-day basis. Maybe it's true for your organization too. In such situations, people start believing that nothing they do will change the state of affairs. Obviously, this is not true, but the organization believes it and thus stops taking sufficient action. In such situations, a change in leadership is often required to change the old patterns of beliefs in that organization. So this was about learned helplessness in organizations. Subscribe to my channel to continue to receive regular videos on management, strategy, and innovation. See you next week.